So the core customer, Starbucks core customer is young to middle-aged adults, tend to have higher income and education levels, and it's a third place between home and work where people can meet. It's a great meeting place for study groups, academics, and for business people to get away from, just to get away from work and be someplace comfortable. They have an expanded customer base. In the last few years, they've tried to press out into the general population, as it were, to lower income and education levels. The senior VP of brand strategy, Ann Sanders, said Starbucks is targeting every consumer who drinks coffee in the U.S. They're experimenting with $1 cups of coffee. They're also branching out into non-traditional locations, licensed locations. You've seen them in Albertsons, they're at the airports, places like campuses, bookstores, Barnes & Nobles. Those are all licensed locations. Another way they're branching out is they're putting their dry product in the grocery stores. You can go into Safeway and buy a bag of Starbucks. And they're also going after the Hispanic market. It's become, there's a concerted effort. They've introduced Cafe con Leche. It's made with a terrazzo blend, which is South American and African coffees. And that's kind of the classic Latin summer cooler. They've also got some things which are kind of a surprise sometimes. You go in there and you find a pomegranate frappuccino. Try something really, really different. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sarah, who is going to talk a little bit about the value to the customer.
Thank you, Anthony. So now that we know what Starbucks business is, who the customer is, it's important to recognize what they value. The first thing that's important to the Starbucks customer is community focus. Starbucks puts a lot into the communities where their stores are located. For instance, to date, they have given $22 million in grants to local communities, and their employees have done in 2006 383,000 hours of volunteer work from their group. So there is a lot of involvement in the community, and their customers recognize it and they appreciate it. Also, they know that their customers have an environmental awareness, so they have started on different environmental initiatives. In 2006, they developed a new paper cup that saved them, in that year alone, 78,000 tons of wood that they would have otherwise had to go through. So their customers appreciate them being green, so they're looking for new initiatives to go in that direction. Also, business ethics. In the world of Enron that we live in, they know that their customers want to buy coffee from an ethical company. And in 2008, they were named one of the world's most ethical companies by Ethisphere magazine. Also, they provide each of their employees a booklet that is called Ethical Decision-Making Framework. They walk their employees through an ethical decision-making process. So everyone down to the baristas, if they're in a position that they don't know how to make a decision, they think they're being asked to do something that's not right, they know that the management has their back and they know how to handle it properly. They know their customers value a unique retail store experience, and it was quoted in one article that we read that they call it Cafe Cool. It's a fun place to go with eclectic music. It's a comfortable place to sit. You can have that personalized experience with your barista. Sit down, have the cup of coffee that you were looking for, open up your laptop, jump on the internet. It's very comfortable. It's a very different place. Starbucks really created a unique experience for their customers. And lastly, and probably most obviously, the customer appreciates a unique or a specialty coffee. So they don't just want the pastries and the sandwiches, and this is something that Starbucks has recently recognized. They put those things out there, but the customer really appreciates the specialty coffee that they provide. So now that we know what the customer values, where is Starbucks today and where do they want to go? Well, we know 2008 has been a tough year. It's been a tough year for the economy, and Starbucks has had a tough time as well. I'm sure you heard that 600 of their stores had to close down this year. Their profit has gone down 28%, and their stock at one point in November of 2006 was up at $40 a share. That was their all-time high. Today, $10. So not great, not a good year for them. But we believe that that's why Howard Schultz came back into play. They recognized that this was going to be a tough time, so they brought him back in. And there are some initiatives that are taking place to restore the old Starbucks. First of all, they want to reignite the customer's emotional attachment. They loved the local flair of the original Starbucks, where it wasn't just cookie cutter everywhere you went. There was a certain level of local appreciation to it. So they're trying to bring that back to the customer. Also, the personalized experience, they think that might be lacking as well. So they're trying to bring that. Build for the long term. The community involvement and the green initiatives that they're doing is showing that we're a big company, we know we have a big impact, but we're here to stay. So we want to make sure that our impact against the environment lessens and that we provide a good impact on the environment. So they're putting forth these long-term initiatives. And lastly, they want to improve their US business. With the economic downturn in 2008, people are more likely to buy a gallon of gas than they are to go buy a Starbucks coffee. And they recognize that, and that's part of why their stock is taking a hit. So they're beta testing $1 cups of coffee right now, trying to see how that'll work out. They're trying to appeal more to the lower income and middle income folks, not just the higher income, because they recognize that we're all in a tough spot right now. Ultimately, Jaw's recommendation is to invest. Yes, 2008 has been difficult, but it's been difficult across the board. And the market, we believe, is going to rally. Right now, Starbucks stock can be considered on sale. It's at $10 a share. At one point, it was at $40. Once the housing market comes back, once the economy comes back, it'll be a heck of an investment to buy at $10 and see where it goes from there. Thank you.